arrive at the differential form of Faraday's law. So equation 3 gives me integral form of Faraday's law. Equation number 4, 5 gives me the differential form of Faraday's law. Is that okay to you, sir? This is a very important topic. Both the equations which I put in boxes are important. You must remember how to express Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction in differential form, how to express Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction in differential form. I will put everything in action. Quickly I will recall that when magnetic flux is changing with respect to time, induced EMF will be produced. Line integral of, and there will be an electric field as well. Line integral of electric field will give you induced EMF. The magnetic flux. So therefore we have taken a space S which encloses circuit C placed in a magnetic field B vector. We have taken a small surface of area ds. The unit vector n is pointing normal to the surface in the positive direction. The flux, small flux coming to the surface will be d phi b is equal to b vector dot n cap ds. I have taken the total magnetic flux, integrated this expression. So according to Faraday's law, line integral of electric field is giving you induced EMF. This is equal to negative time rate of change of magnetic flux, d phi by dt. This one is t. Okay? This one is d. Okay? Now, I am substituting for phi b from this expression. I get integral form of Faraday's law. Now, if I consider a case where circuit is remaining constant, magnetic field is changing by moving the magnet towards or away the circuit, then magnetic field is changing with respect to time, therefore dou by dt has been taken inside. So here on the left hand side I have a line integral, on the right hand side I have a surface integral. I use Stokes theorem to convert line integral into surface integral. I end up with this equation. I am putting that here in equation 4 to get this equation. Then finally I end up with del cross E vector is equal to minus dou B by dou T, which is the differential form of Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. Is that okay to you? If that is okay to you, I would like to go into the next topic for discussion, which is self-inductance, a very, very interesting topic. I will rub this off and go into the next topic for discussion, which is self-inductance. Sir, you must be familiar with the capacitor. This is the symbol of a capacitor. You must be familiar with the resistor. Now we talk about the inductor. The inductor coil is. What I am trying to tell you here in self-inductance. This is a coil. I also call it a solenoid. Let us suppose a current of I amps is flowing to this. Most importantly, this current is a variable current. A variable current. The moment a variable flows through this coil, inductor, solenoid, you find an opposing, see this current is flowing in this direction. If a current is induced and the induced current opposes this current, then the induced current must be flowing definitely in the opposite direction. I will call it as I suffix I or I dash I. An induced current is flowing here. Is that okay to you, sir? Is that okay to you, sir? What I am trying to tell you here is, if current is increasing, if I say current is increasing, okay, the increasing current will increase the magnetic field. If the magnetic field is increased, that will increase the magnetic flux. Okay, it will increase the magnetic flux. If magnetic field is increased or changed, then it will magnetic flux is increased. Okay, is increased. This will produce an induced EMF. This will in turn give an induced current. Sir, to put it very simple, that the induced current will be flowing in a direction opposite to the induced current. I would put it this way. Supposing this is a loop, and let us say a current is flowing in this direction. This is the current you are applying to this conductor by connecting a battery. When this current varies, the induced current produced will be opposite to this. I call it as I induced. This current will produce a magnetic field. The opposing induced EMF will produce an opposing magnetic field to suppress this. This property, this phenomenon by which when the current flowing through a coil changes, an opposing induced current is produced in the coil. Same coil. That is the reason why it's there. The phenomenon is known as self-inductance, self-induction in fact. You understand what I am saying? The property of a coil or the property of a solenoid by which an opposing induced current is produced in the coil. When the current flowing to the coil changes, then the phenomenon is known. That property of the coil is called as self-induction. Sir, this can happen as long as the current to the coil is changing. If the current flowing to the coil or solenoid is constant, steady current, no induced EMF will be produced. Let me make it clear what I am trying to tell you. Okay? Supposing I take a solenoid, a current of I amps is flowing. When current flows, a magnetic field will be produced. In chapter unit 2 you will study. The magnetic field produced will be acting along the axis. Therefore, I would say magnetic flux. Okay? Total magnetic flux. I will put it phi t. This phi suffix t is total magnetic flux. Is equal to, if this solenoid has n turns, n into phi b. Is that okay to you? Phi b I have already told you is BA cos theta, which means phi b is directly proportional to b. Okay? Phi b is directly proportional to b. B in unit 2, you will be deriving an expression for for magnetic field intensity due to a current carrying solenoid. There you will derive an expression like this, which means B is directly proportional to I. Then I can say phi B here, or total magnetic flux, also depends on current. Is that okay to you? Therefore, my expression will be phi is equal to Li. Is that okay to you? For n turns, it will be n phi. Okay. Therefore, I will write n phi is equal to Li, or phi is equal to, or L is equal to n phi by n. Very, very important expression, sir. This is a very important expression. I have told you how that phi is directly proportional to I. Remove the proportionality and introduce a constant. That constant L, I call it as coefficient of self-inductance. Okay? Coefficient of self-inductance. Now we can also define this. L is equal to phi by I. If I is equal to 1 amp, then L is equal to phi. Coefficient of self-inductance of a coil is numerically equal to magnetic flux linked with the coil when unit current flows to the coil. I repeat, this is magnetic flux again. This is magnetic flux again. This is magnetic flux again. Coefficient of self-inductance of a given coil is numerically equal to magnetic flux linked with the coil when unit current flows to the coil. From Faraday's law, we know it is d phi b by dt. In the place of phi b, you can write Li. Therefore, E is equal to minus L di by dt. Very, very important expression. Very important expression. Quite often we will be using this in our next unit. Now from this, I can write L is equal to minus E upon di by dt. And if I say di by dt is equal to 1 amp per second, then L becomes equal to minus E. I can define this way also. Coefficient of self-inductance of a given coil is numerically equal to opposing induced EMF produced in the coil when rate of change of current to the coil is 1 amp per second. As simple as that. As simple as that. If you are interested in hearing it once again, I don't mind doing so. Coefficient of self-inductance of a given coil is numerically equal to opposing induced EMF produced in the coil and the rate of change of current to the coil is 1 amp per second. Is that okay to you, sir? We move on to the last topic, the expression how to derive an expression for coefficient of self-inductance of a given coil. Expression for coefficient of self-inductance of a solenoid. consider a long solenoid of length L having N turns carrying a current of I amps whose area of cross section is A. I repeat, let us consider a long solenoid of length L having N turns through which a current of I amps is flowing through the solenoid. Let A be the area of cross section of the solenoid. As I told you, when current flows, it will produce a magnetic field. The magnetic field will be acting along the axis. The magnetic field at any point along the axis of the solenoid. Okay, this can be written as B is equal to mu naught and I. Mu naught is permeability of free space. N is number of turns per unit length. I is current flowing through the solenoid. The magnetic flux passing through the solenoid, through or through each turn, through each turn. Phi suffix B is equal to integral B vector dot dA vector. I am taking A as vector, okay? Then I will write this as dA cos theta. Theta is 0 because the area vector and the magnetic field vector will be pointing in the same direction. This will be equal to BA. Is that okay to you, sir? Therefore, I will write phi B is equal to, in the place of B I can substitute mu naught Ni into, this is the magnetic flux associated with one turn. Total magnetic flux, total magnetic flux linked with N turns. So I have to multiply by N. N phi B is equal to N into mu naught Ni. Since I am using small n, I can write small n, number of turns per unit length, as total number of turns by N. Therefore, N will be equal to NL. Okay? I can as well substitute that here. N phi B is equal to NL into mu naught Ni A to give me mu naught N squared AL into I. Is that okay to you? But N phi B is equal to Li. Is that okay to you? Just now we saw. So I will substitute Li mu naught N square A L into I. II goes off to give me mu naught N square A L. That is the expression for self-inductance, coefficient of self-inductance of a given coil if the air is enclosed between turns, air core to solenoid. If it is wound on a material whose permeability is mu r, then L will be equal to mu naught mu r N square AL. From the expression, you can find L, coefficient of self-inductance, depends on geometry of the coil, geometry of the solenoid. When I say geometry, what I mean is N, L and A, and medium present inside the solenoid. Sir, we have derived an expression for coefficient of self-inductance of a solenoid. As I said, I have taken a solenoid of length L, area of cross section A, having n number of turns. I is the current flow to the solenoid. In the unit 2, you will study that whenever current flows to the solenoid, it will produce a magnetic field. Magnetic field acting along the axis of the solenoid is this much. Magnetic flux passing through each turn, BA cos theta, theta being 0. This is A vector, this is B vector, both are parallel, theta 0, cos 0 is 1, therefore BA. In the place of B, I substitute for B. Magnetic flux linked with n turns into N. Since I use small n, number of turns per unit length, number of turns per unit length is capital N, L, therefore capital N is L, I substitute it, multiply. Previously I told you N phi B is equal to Li. So in the place of N phi, Li, I goes off to get this. This is the expression for coefficient of self-inductance of a given coil. We'll stop here. When we meet next, we have to discuss an experiment, Rayleigh's experiment, how to determine experimentally in a laboratory the value of coefficient of self-inductance of a given solenoid. So we stop here, continue in our next class, and I request all the students of 3rd BSc to go through these videos, prepare notes, study, only then you will be able to get through the exams. Otherwise, you will find difficult. If you just listen to the video, you are not making notes, you will find it difficult at the time of examination. So please, if you have books with you, fine. If you don't have, doesn't matter. Go through these videos once, twice or thrice. Definitely you will be able to make beautiful notes after this. Based on that, keep studying until we meet next. Goodbye.